Old Man, coming back at you from Walker's Music. Yet another word for the day. Sunday morning edition, early Sunday morning. We thank God for life, health, and strength for as well as it is. And we thank God for each and every one of you. We just like to say this morning to all the cyber friends and everything, we honor y'all as well. We don't count, we do not all count it likely that you're being a part of the supportive group. Been there from the start. We know who you are, and we do not overlook you, not by 1 cent. So believe that, and we thank God for you. I want to say this morning that I got to go out to my home church this morning, second Sunday, in my home church, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, celebrating the 117-year anniversary. And it's been a long haul, it's been a long journey, but we still in the bloom, and we want to give God the praise for that. There are some changes that's been made, but I feel for the better. Nevertheless, there are some things that we all can get used to doing certain things, but we got to realize everything changes, and at some point in some time, some things change, and we must realize there's nothing wrong with change if it's for the better. And then sometimes we make some change that maybe not be for the better, but nevertheless they do change. And matter of fact, we're gonna kind of miss the idea of not having Benevolence Baptist come down. They used to come down in our second service, but we no longer have a second service. The fellowship was kind of broken off because they had from what I was told, they didn't have no second service fellowship on the time when we would go to them, which always used to be the second Sunday in April, and then they would come to us the second Sunday in August. Also, like I said, things change. We have to go with the flow. Don't be afraid of change. Matter of fact, this is also another Sunday that where late James Cleveland used to have his anniversary on this his second Sunday, and as well as one of the radio personalities down in this area, WJIZ, called Doc Sullivan. He used to have a big program on this day at the Civic Center over in Albany, Georgia. So this day is a kind of a famous little day, but nevertheless, it's still famous with an old middy man. I'm just glad to be in the name. I'm be in the house of the Lord. In other words, I was glad when they said, "Let us go into the house of the Lord." I want to also say that I noticed some things, and I was sitting there, and I just had to tell the choir. They said yesterday, why are we so? Some of us just cannot have anyone to tell us anything, especially if it's something of good nature, character, and trying to give you good advice and trying to teach or lead you, people in a certain way, and people rebel. But then I thought about it. That's the way they done all through the Bible. God was trying to get His children in Israel to do certain things. They rebelled on every hand, and we are no different today. We still got some that just gonna do what they want to do, and they do not want to get in line with authority and leadership. But you got to remember, just as you do not want to follow anybody when they're in leadership, and you want to be unruly and uncanny, well, just remember that now you reap what you sow. When you get in a position of authority, some people are going to do you the same way. They're going to rebel and rebuke and buck against you. And then maybe you will see how the other person felt. And that's how come I told them on the choir members yesterday, don't get caught up in that kind of thing. Because ultimately, the people in charge, you got to be humble. You got to be humble. Now, like I say, I'm being a minister of music. That don't mean nothing to me. I play the keyboard. But like I say now, when time to shut it down, I know when to shut it down. What called ultimately, it's not. I know what the pastor has given me. He's given me the license to do certain things. That don't mean to be rude and be rude to people, be unmerciful and just be a straight out butt. They're just going to put it the way it is. That don't mean just because you're in a leadership position, that don't give you the right to do that, because people are grown. but there's a way to deal with people. So you deal with them according to love and how you want to be treated. But nevertheless, there are sometimes as a leader, you have to do certain things. You have to rise up to the plate, and you have to just shut something down as a leader. And you be trying not to do that. And the first time you do that, people think that, well, you trying to abuse your power. No, that's not abusing power. That's just keeping order and keeping peace. And sometimes you have to do that. And I'm just letting everybody know, matter of fact, not only my own home church of Antioch, but that to all the rest of the churches that God have me employed in as minister music, I'm not going to tolerate it. Matter of fact, just get that over now, because when I have to, I'm going to shut it down, point blank, because like I say, I got the license from the pastor and the church to do the job, and I'm going to do the job as best as I can, as the Lord empower me to do it. But I'm going to do it in love, and I'm going to do it with common sense. But I'm not going to let nobody run over me either. So in other words, when you come, you better come right. In other words, you do that, we won't have no problem at all. But if you do, I will set you straight, and we'll just go from there. In other words, people, we need to be able to do stuff. If we call ourselves Christian, we should be able to abide and live together in perfect unity and harmony. In other words, let brotherly love continue. That's the Bible, people. That's the Bible. So if we can't do that, and if we can't get along with each other and everything, why are we even in an organization like a choir? And you up there hating your brother that you're singing by, talking about Amazing Grace. How can you sing Amazing Grace up there rolling your eyes at your choir member? That's not going to work. But at any rate, we're not going to go there right now. But there will be some more things that are going in the mix that's going to come up. And there are going to be a lot of things when you're involved with a unit, that things not going to be your way all the time. And sometimes things going to go on that you're not going to like. But you get over it and go on. If you want the better of the greater good, in other words, the better of the greater good, let's go for the greater good. In other words, that's going to satisfy the whole unit, the whole choir. Whatever is best for the whole unit, that's what we want to do. That's what we should want to do. And forget about trying to have our way. Because listen, this is not Burger King. You don't have it your way. You don't have it your way. It's God's way, or it's no way at all. With that being said, whatever you get into, if God is not in it, the best you come out of people. I'm telling you, because it's going to come to nothing. With that being said, this is Mitty Man saying peace. I hope you have a good worship service today. Go out, hear from God. Don't hear from man. Make sure you hear from God. This is Mitty Man saying peace. Goodbye.